Hey there, everybody. Eric from Outer Limitless coming to you today on Outer Limitless blades with the WE Knife Banter. Now, this particular model, the WE 23075-3, the Banter 2, in green canvas micarta with a gray stonewash CPM S35VN blade. Now, there's no doubt that WE Civivi absolutely delivering quality and absolutely delivering value. I don't care what model of WE or Civivi knife you get, you know you're getting excellent construction, you know you're getting fantastic designs, and at the end of the day, I believe you are getting fantastic value. So here, the WE Knife Banter 2. Again, there are a number of Banter models at this point. You have various different sizes, you have various different configurations, you even have a bougie Banter, which is like a fully dressed and just tricked out version of this knife. Now, you can get versions in the Civivi lineup, which are going to be a little bit cheaper, and then once you get here into the WE lineup, you're talking about the more premium materials. So again, in this particular case, this beautiful green micarta, nicely machined. You can see there, just having some texture. And then the S35VN blade with that stonewash finish. And you can see right away matching in just nicely with the pocket clip and the pivot screw. Just a good look overall. And interesting, as you take a look at the thumb stud, it's kind of got that brassy look, which I think is a nice little pop. I kind of enjoy when there's a subtle accent, and I would definitely call that a subtle accent. It's not overly bearing, and I do like it. Now, most of you are probably pretty familiar with the Banter, but if you're not, this is a Ben Peterson design, and most of you are probably familiar with Ben Peterson, but if you're not, he really, and I'm going to say in my opinion, but to most are very familiar with Ben Peterson because of his amazing work and just history from Blade HQ, his awesome commentary, just his persona, being around things like Blade Show, just kind of being that celebrity-esque type of individual who's really left an impression on the knife world. And at this point, this Banter is becoming known for a well-rounded, pocketable EDC blade that's kind of, I guess I'm going to say, all go, not much in the way of show. It's just your simple, basic, and extremely effective pocket knife. And that's sometimes all you really need. And that kind of sums up the Banter. And so again, CPM S35VN, which I love, great steel. Oftentimes with many manufacturers, but more specifically the Chinese manufacturers, and in their premium line, they do utilize S35VN as kind of that workhorse steel. And in this particular case, it is hardened to 59 to 61 HRC. You can see this is a spear point design, so that heavy drop, really more like a leaf or a spear point design. Nice belly. And this isn't exactly symmetrical. You can see that the drop comes down below that center point, which is going to work out very well for things like opening packaging and getting in for some utility work. So this is going to be a great blade for general utility tasks. And with that nice sweeping belly, that will perform extremely well. 2/3 height saber grind, and then your primary bevel is a flat ground primary bevel. Now, that's not hollow ground as you feel it. A hollow grind would have some more curve to it. This is flat ground, so as you take a look right down the face, a flat edge from the top of that saber grind all the way down to the back edge of that secondary bevel. And as you take a look at the secondary bevel, WE Civivi always doing a fantastic job. So you can see very even from the tip all the way back to the ricasso, which there, just a subtle sharpening choil, the ability to get in there. And that is real nice where your plunge grind ends. then your sharpening choil protrudes beyond that plunge grind nicely into the flat and then into the secondary bevel, leaving a real clean line all the way to the ricasso. So very nicely done. The overall length here, 6.66 inches. Total height at around 1.19 inches. The overall thickness, so as you take a look here, total thickness of around 0.63 inches, including the clip. The blade length, 2.87 inches. As we close this up, the overall length, while it's closed, 3.79 inches. The actual handle thickness itself, 0.46 inches, and a weight of 2.57 ounces, which for those who are looking for your blade to weight ratio, this does make it nicely. So fitting nicely in that ounce to blade weight ratio. Now again, gray stonewash finish. This could easily be, uncoated and have no issues with corrosion. CPM S35VN doing a wonderful job in striking the balance between your corrosion resistance and your edge retention. And it should be reasonably field sharpenable for those who need to field sharpen their knives. A lot of times for me, I will simply use a leather strop to get this honed back to a sharp and razor's edge. And then I will take a couple of passes on a fine ceramic rod to introduce a little bit of a toothy edge. I don't like to leave it too fine. I actually like a little bit of a toothy edge. So if I can get this back with a strop to sharp, I will then take a couple of passes on that ceramic rod just to introduce some very fine micro serrations. And I find that it actually performs better in the end. Crossbar style lock, so very effective and easy, doing a nice job to strike the balance between a strong lock, yet one that's ambidextrous, which is cool. So of course, this does give you the ability right hand or left hand, which feeds right into the clip, which has the benefit that not only do you get a nice deep ride pocket clip, recessed screws, very effective, but it is also reversible. So for your right hand and left hand carry, this is truly a fully ambidextrous design. So not only is it fully ambidextrous, but it's a clean ambidextrous design. Notice that there's an insert on the opposite of the clip side. So if you are basically going to call this the show side, you want it to be really clean. And of course, this works very well for righties. But what happens when you reverse the clip? A lot of times that gap gets filled by the clip, and then on the back side, you end up with an open hole. But because this has that spacer or filler, you have the ability to get a real clean look on both sides. So that's sweet. Now, it's not going to be very easy to see, but on the inside, this has been nicely skeletonized and nested liners. So it's very open, very unobtrusive, but that's what helps maintain such an incredibly light carry overall. So this is going to be an extremely lightweight carry, and that's what gives you the blade length to weight ratio that you're looking for. Now you can see there is a back spacer. That back spacer is really the only enclosed area that goes all the way around that pommel end. Leaves it very comfortable. Everything well-rounded, chamfered the right way, and you can see it goes into a very generous lanyard hole right on the top. So an effective design, and I love the fact that everything is rounded out. I do personally like a backspacer like this, and I think that aids in the general comfort, especially after prolonged use. T8 hardware on your pivot screw, T8 hardware on the body screws, and then you end up with T6s on your pocket clip, which also translates to that filler piece on the show side. Excellent lockup, like super firm, nothing moving at all. You can see that is just rock solid. Nothing up and down, nothing left and right. This is just completely dialed in. And the blade centering also fantastic. I couldn't see it being any better. It's literally as close to perfect, if not perfect. And it is perfect. Super tight clearance and tolerance which helps to maintain this as slim a profile as possible. There is literally nothing extra going on here. As we rotate around inside, and we're not going to see it, but caged ceramic bearings, which always leave the perfect deployment, especially dialed in with fantastic thumb stud location. The Banter 2 is great. What a nice little knife. And so whether you prefer Wii, Civivi, more of your budget knife, your mid-tier, or even a bougie Banter, you cannot go wrong. This is absolutely fantastic. A great pocketable carry, excellent fit and finish. That's just the quality we've come to know and expect from Civivi and from Wii. There's no doubt in my mind that there's a place in your pocket for this knife. So look in the description box below. Find all of the relevant links for where you can find your own Banter, whether it's the Banter 2 or any of the other Banters. Awesome knives. Thank you so much to the people at Wii who did provide this for review. And for the rest of you, if you like this content, do me a favor. Take a look at the rest of my Outer Limitless family of channels. My primary Outer Limitless channel, hiking, camping, backpacking, all the outdoor adventures, EDC gear, Outer Limitless 2, tactical, firearms, all that good stuff. Here, we're on Outer Limitless knives, where I cover all the pointy and sharp things, and Outer Limitless lights, EDC flashlights, headlamps, indoor, outdoor lighting, you name it. That's the Outer Limitless family of channels. So, all right, guys, thanks for stopping by. Take care now. I'll see you soon.